Morning, team. Morning. Hope you're all doing good. Hopefully, yesterday set you up for some nice winners in the afternoon, especially if you left some runners on. As always, we're going to start in the daily chart here. Okay, before we get into that, remember, if you've had a tilt day this week, if you're not feeling quite right, maybe time to back off the screens. Make sure you're coming to the market with the right attitude. Market doesn't need to give you what you want. It's going to give you whatever it needs to give you, and you got to trade that. So if you're feeling emotional today, just take your time and back off, all right? As always, starting on the daily chart, what was the target in the weekly newsletter? 400s. We got close. I was 6 points off. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good effort. We have more room here, folks, all right? We have room now that the daily Bollingers has started developing over this week. We have some room, and if we think about where we might want to go based on pullbacks, all right, from these daily channels, all right, 417, we're getting pretty close. We're into 1.5. If we're going to really extend, then we're going to look for that move into 652. Again, that would be above the daily Bollinger. I don't like buying up there. As we know, we don't like trading above daily Bollingers. So we're going to need to have a few sessions where it develops to allow everything to start catching up. Okay. So far, we have failed overnight. All right, we've had a push above the previous high, and we're just pulling back to what? To where we closed yesterday, basically. So we're pretty much opening up flat. Where I'm interested in is sort of this level in here. All right, do we find a bid in here to go back upside? That's the question I'm posing, and we're going to get more details from that when we move into the hourly chart. So let's do that together. And you can already see what I've drawn out, all right? So this is what I'm looking at currently. This is the hourly chart. You can see resistance down here. All right, resistance. Yesterday we broke out. We're putting back towards this level. These are the levels that I'm interested in. If we can do some control pullback into there and start turning around, I'll look to bid back up and look for a trade, and I'll be taking a partial at the current all-time high. And if we can get through it, fantastic. We get a continuation squeeze. If we start letting go, all right, of these levels, I'd say anywhere from sort of 260, 300 to 260 is pretty much key. Previous day value area high and this level here, all right. If we start getting stuck under here, then there's a rotation possible, all right. This will still be counter trend, so you'd be short there, looking for partials 213s for previous day point of control. 25 165 for previous day value area low. If we really fail that, we're going to come back into this block down here, all right, and then maybe we clean this stuff up. But right now I'm really thinking that anything downside is nothing more than a pullback, all right, to be absorbed. So really what I'm looking for is something like this, or something like this, or something like this, all right, something like that, all right. So there might be a counter trend short in here if you really want it. I really want to stay focused on the longs today. Stay focused on the longs. So you can see overnight, there's the push to 400s. Asia traded downside. London's traded downside. We've left those stops in. There's a good reason to go higher now. It's just, can we time the bid? Can we time the bid to go back? If it's going to do it today, maybe it doesn't do it today. Maybe we build liquidity and do it tomorrow. We will see, folks. We will see. Okay, up into these higher time frames, into the lower time frames, sorry, and we will have a look at the ES. Let's move it to a 5 minute. It's going to look pretty much the same here. Here we go. It's the same kind of story here, folks. Nice double bottom there so far. This is your kind of flag. This is the sort of area that you'd need to see it hold. So anywhere around here, maybe a little sweep and then back upside would be fine. Anything where we start getting stuck, especially inside yesterday's balance, then there's a move, isn't there? From, I'd say really you want to hold the 800s, but 790 is your last chance saloon. If they don't hold 790, then they're open up to 773. So there's about 20 points in here if they don't hold 790s, which I'll be watching. We can have a quick look at the ETFs because it's really easy to see on the ETFs. So if we go to the spiders, you can see how obvious this is. All right. Big move up, big extension, coming back into these areas. All right, you want to see it hold these areas for a continuation. We're not buying up here today, folks. All right, we're not going to buy at an all-time high near the daily Bollinger Band when we have completed what we've been looking for on the week, which is this. All right, I do not want to buy up here. I want to get in early, and if it keeps grinding and squeezing, that's fine, but I do not want to be buying high. Doesn't mean there's a short up there either. I should probably talk about the short on both markets. For me, the short would be a move higher, a blow off top, a trade back inside, and then a let go of this range. Until we let go of this range, I'm not convinced of the short for that move. All right, I'm really unconvinced of any short in this market right now until it proves otherwise. And we should probably do QQQ as we're here, just so you can see it. Same kind of story. All right, same story. Extension. Second leg into there would be nice, and then it will offer that trade out if we're lucky, if we want to stay bullish. All right, VIX should be drifting downside right now. There we go, drifting downside. Okay, so bottom side of this range, we've been talking about this range for ages. There's your fail breakout, failed to hold, failed to break above, came back inside, broke above, failed to hold above, came back inside. Breakdown under here will lead to a trade into 16s, breaking into 16s. And we're going to look for these trades down into 1530s, which will mean risk on environment for this market. How are we doing for time? We've got a little bit of time. Go through the mag now. You're also going to see different setups in this mag here today. So Apple, it's starting to really annoy me, Apple. All right, gapping down again. So failing to get back above this. I really want Apple to hold here and do this move. All right, I'm looking for this move on Apple, but I have to note Apple's gapping down. So that's your first one, gap down Apple. Amazon, gap down Amazon, right? It's a better gap down because that's a big push and we're pulling back and we're trying to find a bid versus the old highs, all right? But gapping down nonetheless, but more bullish than Apple right now. Google, I don't know if that's a dark pool print. I'm going to assume it is a dark pool print, but I don't know that. This is just looking ugly. Right, this is really ugly, but we are starting to go sideways. We need to see Google have some sign of life around here for this move. But again, Google technically is gapping up, but we need to see it hold. That's an ugly looking chart right now. Meta, that's a better chart. All right, slight gap up. Clear breakout here available, starting to produce higher lows. Break this, we're looking for that gap fill back up to here. So Meta's looking good. That's the first chart that looks really, really strong, or much better. Microsoft also gapping down. All right, so a lot of the mag flat to gapping down here, worth noting. Also gapping down. Can it find a bid like it has pre-market versus this level? You can see this is your RBS. All right, breakout, pull back, maybe a second leg in, hold, reclaim would be nice, but it doesn't have to do it today. Right, here's where the fun starts. Nvidia gapping up. All right, Nvidia gapping up pretty big as well, like a good $3. All right, and it's pumping for those 200s, isn't it? So Nvidia, there's your move. If we can hold this, we're looking for 200. It's not that far away now, really. Looks really good on Nvidia. The chip names are running. Tesla, those have got to be dark pool prints. Those are ugly, gapping down. All right, so most of the mag gapping down. Where's Oracle? Of interest, are they rotating back into chips, gapping up? And where's AMD? Probably gapping up as well. Was gapping up, closing its gap a bit at the moment. All right, have a quick look at the swings. Need a little more out of PayPal, looking for at least another buck there out of PayPal, but we're looking okay. Is Oscar giving back still? Probably should have sold in there, right? Maybe a bit greedy from me, but we'll see. LB looks good. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. All right, folks, you know what we're looking at. So going to have to be patient today. You can see the levels of interest for me. They're marked out by these blue zones. These are high volume nodes down here from yesterday. But really, this level here and this level here and this level here will perk my interest the most. So something like this, something like this, or something like this, all right, would perk my interest the most. If it's going to be a sell day, then I'm going to have to wait for momentum. There is, like I said, there might be a counter trend short from this location, partial if you get very lucky all the way down here. But I'm going to focus on the longs if possible, unless I see all of the mag really aggressively rolling over. This is consolidation to go higher, in my opinion. It might need a deeper pullback first, but that's what I would be looking for. Bear with me 2 seconds because my kettle just boiled. I'm going to pour my coffee out. Okay, coffee in hand. So the last thing we can do is have a look at the book quickly. How am I doing for timing? 2 minutes left. Have a look if there's any big orders on this book this morning. Bit split. 562s. 5. That's a bit of a precarious position. That's just above the New York VWAP from yesterday, I think. 362. Just above New York VWAP. 200s and 5.4s and 5.475s, 4.25. So they're going quarters above. All right. Well, let's see, folks. Let's see. Morning, everyone. I'm not going to get time to go through these, I don't think. Let's have a go. Morning, Itmar Tubi. Welcome. Morning, John, Clint, Ken, Glenn, Noah, Jeff, Miguel, Marek, Thumper, Gigi, Teresa, Jesse, Peter, Zar, Julian, Firewater, Market, Troy, Eva, Mike, Hannah, InfoRisk, Brandon, Harish, Toby, Bradley, Greg, Leron, Silem, Christy, ERF, Harinda, FC Mike, Lou Reed, Coop, Priska Contorted, Chris Thorne, Donna, Ken, One-on-One, Peter Illis, DK, Ejecto, Patrick, CMR, Richard, Otis, Jacob, Tyrewood, JJ, PD, Abdullah. Morning, everyone. Smash that like button for me nice and early. Let's get that done and out of the way so I don't have to keep talking about it. Let's see what we get here. Okay, opening up 15 seconds here, folks. You can see we're already trying to break. I don't really want to play long at the open. I just want to let this settle down for a moment if possible. Zoom into this 5 minute a bit more so we can see what's going on here. All right. Here's the open, folks. Like I said, most of us opening up, most of the mag either down or up. Tesla just under 2% down in a sell. Microsoft 0.25% down. Meta flat on the day. Google 0.25% down. Amazon just under 0.5% down. Apple 0.14% down. And Nvidia, the strong one, 1.28% up. AMD has just gone green to red. Got to be careful with that, watching that closely. Hopefully we find a bid in these chip names today for some extensions. As long as it holds the old all-time highs, we look good. There we go, finding a bid nice and early. All right, so coming back down towards that previous day value area high here, folks. Level of interest here. I wouldn't mind a clean out of some of this overnight liquidity first. That would be ideal if it wants to be nice and kind to us. So far, they're bidding in front of it. Back to VWAP, back to the New York Open. ES driving up here, trying to take out the previous day high here already. And we just tagged into VWAP. So we're stuck between previous day value area high and VWAP right now. If we start reclaiming those levels, there's a potential squeeze up to previous day high. ES has already done that move. It's absolutely screaming this morning. So already up to previous day high. And NQ not getting going here. Unsurprising when we think we've gone through the mag. Most of the mag are gapping down. Most of the mag gapping down today, remember. Let's see, ES approaching those overnight highs, approaching the all-time highs already. NQ just not moving here. This is going to be fun if we're going to do this again for a session. So Tesla in a sell, Microsoft selling, Google in a sell, Amazon in a sell, Apple in a sell, Meta flat, Nvidia the only one holding on. So just waiting. Just waiting, like we said. Might need to clean out some of these levels underneath us. You can see some bids here on the tape. 10s, 300s, 95s. Let's see if there's anyone below. The seller at 40s just disappeared. So ES cleared out previous day high. Does that mean SPY just made? No, it didn't. Got close. Let's see, folks. Right, back down towards previous day value area high. Like I said, I'd like to see us clean out some of Globex, offer some kind of bear trap, unless we're going to go into a major sell day. Seems somewhat unlikely. Where is that red to green level? 330 red to green, old spike high, 275s, 258s, and then we're thinking about that 180 again, I guess. The same level, 180. Let me get an anchor on here as well. Really need an auto anchor for New York. I'm going to have to make one for NinjaTrader, so it does it every day. Okay, so divergence between the two. ES swept previous day high, didn't quite get to Globex high or that final shove up high, but got close, trading back inside its range. NQ coming back down to that Globex level now, so London low. So rejecting up here, stuck at VWAP, coming back down. Here's your Asia, London low. These are the levels of interest for me down here, especially this one here, if that's where we closed VWAP. But let's see. We've already taken previous day value area high. Really would like to see us take Globex out now at this point. Coop made one for NT8, did he? How did I miss that? Thanks, Coop. I'm guessing it's in Discord. I vaguely remember that, actually. I just must have forgotten. Oh, my neck is sore today, folks. Lots of exercises, rehab exercises on my back and shoulder last night, and it's lots of this, and it's hurting today. Oh. Made what, Clint? I think Coop made a anchor VWAP for the New York session for NT8, is what Miguel's saying. For the Discord. Auto anchor, yeah, there you go. All right, let's see if we can take out Globex. Not in this short, not in the short today. Just want to see how we operate. Giving it time. We're only 5 minutes into the session. So there's Globex. And how low are we going to go? There's the sweep of Globex. ES closing its gap. Lots of liquidity down here. And they're stacking it all the way down to 265 like we talked about before the open. So they have room. What is that hold high? 275 is the hold high all the way down to, I'd say, yeah, 75 down to 250. 275 to 250 is interesting, let's say. Interesting. Oh, sorry, folks, I'm so uncomfortable. Oh, I don't think I can put surgery off much longer on this. Squeaky chair. All right, reclaiming previous day value area high. So they've swept Globex. They're defending previous day value area high for now. It's still a little bit early. This can still be a bear flag and wash back down lower. Back to VWAP. So reclaim previous day value area high. No acceptance below it yet. I don't trust anything quite yet. Divergence with the ES still hasn't swept anything out. What's the MAG doing? MAG's not looking great, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's see if they can find bids in here. Might be a bit frothy this morning for the MAG. So sellers up here into 20s at that VWAP. If they sell this, you'll get that bear flag for that move down. If they don't get the breakdown, then those shorts off the open will get trapped. Still just waiting to see what we can develop. So he can see bear flag trying here, re-attempting those lows like we just talked about. ES into its VWAP, about to close its gap. So Globex again, finding some bids there. Some bids here at 90, 75 and 60. 90, 75 and 60 so far on those bids. Mag doesn't look too good. Tesla ES finding a bid off VWAP for now. Feels like a breakdown might be coming here. It just depends how low they're going to go on this breakdown. Which box do they trade into is the question for me, I would say. Not under Globex yet. We've swept it, but we've not expanded under Globex yet. Okay, maybe a breakdown here. Here's Globex. So I've got a tickle on here, short side. I don't trust it. Really want to focus on the longs today, so I don't trust this. I just got a tickle on. Just in case I want to do a deep wash. If they reclaim value, I'll trade back upside maybe. Just in case they want to rotate to previous day point of control here. ES holding on really well, but it's stuck between New York VWAP and 24-hour VWAP. This is... if we can't get through either of those on ES, then it's going to be a leave alone session. We are below them on NQ. Is anything starting to find a bid here? Have a little look. Nvidia's trying to find a bid. Microsoft's trying to find a bid. Meta, not really. Google's trying, but it doesn't look too good. Amazon looks awful. Apple's trying to find a bid. Okay. They're trying. They're trying. Kind of want QQQ and Spiders just do a retest of the breakout level. Spiders sort of have already overnight. QQQ hasn't. Rejecting value area high there. Back to Globex. ES cannot get through its VWAPs. It's stuck between the VWAPs. Shorts will need a breakdown here. If they can't get an extension, they will get trapped. If they don't get this flush through this current day low, they will get trapped here. So like I said, I've got a tickle on here in case we flush to previous day point of control. Sound low, Eva? Probably just talking quietly. You have to turn it up your end, I'm afraid. Still early for me, remember. It's 6:40 a.m. Not going to be shouting. Okay. ES coming back down to close that gap. All right, so ES has almost closed its gap. Same with the Spiders. We're well under our gap. This is level of interest here, so taking a little tickle off here. Let's see if we find a bid here or here. These two blue boxes. If not, previous day point of control possible. QQQ coming back into that, towards that level I'm looking at, sort of 610s on the QQQ to 609.40s. Here we go. Lovely. Said I wasn't going to trade this, but it just felt like it was almost too obvious. I had to take some of it. Okay, can we get down to the previous day point of control? Want to be careful here. This is where VWAP closed yesterday. I'm going to sort of give that some significance in towards the IB from yesterday. So 50s, nice. Funny, I said I wasn't going to trade this and ended up trading it. Remember, we expect bids to come in. Do not get too late here. QQQ coming down into that key level. All right, this is the old high, so expect bids to come in soon. Just be cautious. Do not chase this short. VIX starting to push here. Still inside an old range. So we're sort of coming into that anchor from yesterday. Right, so I said I'm going to pay some attention to that anchor, so covering a lot here. If we don't want to extend down here, we're going to trade back up to Globex. If we start reclaiming these, this will be the move we went over pre-market. Remember, pre-market we talked about something like this, or it might need to come all the way down to here, but we're bullish inside this. It might want to rotate all the way down to here. It's possible, but it's still, for me, bullish rotation until it lets go of that old range. So yeah, we were short. Well, I was short for the breakdown to this, and 90% out now. If we get down to here, it's just an absolute bonus. I'm happy to flip long if we start building structure to go back up. Absolutely happy to do that because that's the main move. If you read out on the mag, Apple just under 1% down, Amazon 1.13% down, Google 0.5% down, Meta 0.25% down, Microsoft just under 0.5% down, Tesla 2.22% down, Nvidia 1.61% up. So chips are strong, everything else pretty weak here. So here we go, starting to bid off this now. Let's see, do they turn the jets on at this point and go the other way? You'd almost feel like it needs one more wash to trap shorts in if it's going to do that. Oh my God, I've never been in this much pain for a while. Nice, Richard. Yeah, I'm out here now as well. Waiting to see if we do a trap down here or not. He has still got lots of liquidity to clear out. It hasn't cleared out any of the overnight liquidity, really. I'm interested in that sort of IB high on ES, somewhere around the 90s. It comes down to there. Through these now. Right, into that next block. If we fail here, we'll probably go previous day point control. Probably shouldn't have covered all my positions, should I? Am I going to regret that? Right, here's your opening range. If you just look on the H1, we are coming into that major RBS zone. Major RBS zone. Very notable on the H1. Very easy to see on an H1 chart right now. Must look at the high time frames. All right, very easy to see. We're back testing this key level right now. If we fail deeper, we're going to go point control like we talked about. Possibly value area high from previous week. Is that the right one? No, Ninja Traders moved the wrong one again. Oh my gosh, could this get any worse? This is just like yesterday. All right, let's get these sorted. Where is previous week value area high then? 40s. 45. Really need to get these auto set so I don't do that every time. I move a mouse on Ninja because you can't do Control Z. All right. So just holding on to this orb so far. You can note we're in this key, one of the key levels. This is your RBS. If they flush through this, there's a move towards point of control possibly. I'm already out the short, unfortunately. We can think about maybe that 10 a.m. reversal if they're going to do it, the 4-hour candle. Johannes is done for the day. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Starting to find some bids coming in here. There's still liquidity lower at 50 and 40s right now. ES did just sweep everyone from overnight. All right, so ES is now taking Globex as well. So it's completed its job of making sure they all lose. Does it want to trade back up? So do we go pro trend, or does ES need to come a bit deeper first? That's the question at the moment. Everything so far. Intraday downtrend, sell in the New York session so far. We're underneath flow zones, we're underneath VWAP, but this is your sort of counter trend pullback higher time frame. That's why I'm like very, very careful with these shorts. If they start bidding, then the higher time frame starts taking over, because it means the higher time frame pullback finishes, and then the objection would be to go to new highs, wouldn't it? But we're going to have to reclaim this area now. Here we go. Okay. All right. Right off that zone. You see what I mean, folks? When the high time frame's ready to take over, we start going. So looking to join now. All right. All right. All right. Watching previous day value area high. We're going to have to get through this liquidity because we've got buyers trapped above this at the moment. Hopefully that makes sense to you all. Now you see why we're very, very careful on those shorts. Why I covered. And we'd look to see if buyers take over now for this drive back up. If we've completed, we've come into that high time from demand. It's a big volume node there. If we get back above all of this, right, at the moment we've got buyers stuck above this. But if we can get back above this now, right, if you were a buyer here or here or here, you stopped out. They stop out. They do what? They sell the market. And higher time frame buyers pair off with that. If we reclaim this, the pro trend move is higher, because what? This is just a pullback to go higher, right? So far, everything working to plan from this morning, but need to see how we act here, because at the moment, we've got volume trapped above that. So even if you didn't get any of that, even if it's one of your first times here, if you're joining for the first time, or maybe your first week here, but you're learning, hopefully that makes sense. That's why we watch these areas. ES is currently not getting back above PDC, so we're watching that. Both its VWAPs, flow zones, PDC, they're all tied in together right now on the ES. Yeah, chips are having a day, and they're going to continue. Everyone's like, oh, we're too overextended. We're actually not. We're not overextended on the chips at all. So they have room. They've been breathing for a little bit. They have been breathing for a little bit. So reclaiming flow zones here. Watching to see if we do this sort of inverted head and shoulder around here for the extension. Here we go. All right, so looking to see if we can trade this up now. Now we're starting to reclaim. We really want to get through PDC. If we can get back through here, we're going to go red to green on the day, and then we can start expanding. So here comes VWAP. ES trying to get back to PDC as well. Morning, Nihao. Morning, Peter. Morning, everyone. No, I'm not planning on selling AMD, Peter. I think by 2026, 2027, AMD will be between 500, 600, 700, somewhere up there. I'm not really planning on selling it. I'm planning on adding in on any major flush. I'm planning on adding in. All right, something spooked the market there. Bit of a pullback. Oh, ES slammed. So ES into an RBS zone. What's their news here? Putin news. That looks a bit old. Feels like news unless someone just got stuck. So SPY and ES have now done that pullback. They've completed off that last flush into the key level. We're pulling back to where we just found bids from. If we hold bids here, it's potential we move higher. But so far, again, volume's still stuck overhead. That's better, isn't it? Volume's still stuck overhead here. We need to get through this. Careful, they don't call it advanced money destroyer for nothing. That's just a fucking stupid idiot stuff from Reddit type of stay. It's spent so long underperforming. Yeah, exactly. Spent so long underperforming with hedgies keep it down while they're quietly buying it. I'm long from 158, mate. 158. I'm up $90 a share. I'm not some retail buying it up here at 240. I'm long from 158. Let that sink in. 158. It's performing at a very low PE ratio. It's the second strongest stock in its sector, which hasn't even been given the value it needs to be given. This thing is going to absolutely pump over the next 5 to 10 years. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not even going to get into it. Everyone said I was wrong to buy Apple. I'm long from Apple 202. I'm long from AMD at 158. I will play the technicals. Any type of bullshit Reddit crap can get the fuck out of here. I'm not interested in some crappy saying from there. Advanced money dispenser, you can call it. Because I'm up. I'll tell you what percent I'm up now on that. We'll have a look at my portfolio. Makes me laugh. I'm up 47% on that. I'm up 21% on Apple. Amazon, I'm pretty much flat on. I'm up about 9% on PayPal. I'm up 16.45% on Oscar. And I sold my open at 400 to 500% up. Get out of there. Get out of there with nonsense talk like that. All right, Vic's having an absolute ripper here. So we're just going to have to wait here. Maybe we need to come lower first. Was there news there? It feels like there must have been something there. All I can see is the Putin news. Don't see anything else. So maybe they're going risk off. ES leading the charge here for downside. So flatten this now. Yeah. It just makes me laugh, man. I tell you what, when I started trading, I'm not going to name him. I wanted to get long. If Chandler's in here, Coop will know who I'm talking about. Me, Coop, and Chandler used to trade with someone. I wanted to buy, all right, Palantir under 10. And I was long Meta at like 158. And two guys fucking shook me out of that. Oh, it's a crap stock. It's not going to go anywhere. I'd be retired right now. Palantir under 10 I was looking at. So Coop will know who and Chandler will know who. So now, any kind of Reddit bollocks, people saying anything, I will never let someone spook me out of a trade anymore. If the technical says buy, I'm buying. If technical says sell, I'm selling. I don't care in what anyone says in the past. Not interested. All right, back to this opening range, folks. Still in this high time frame block. This is a volume node from yesterday. We're still in this block. Yeah, Coop knows exactly who I'm talking about. Oh, God. Be retired. We'd be retired. You live and learn. Don't listen to people. Don't listen to people. Trade what's in front of you. I'm not anything now, Otis. I'm flat. Flat. I was short, then I took the long, and then I'm flat. When we got trapped between the two VWAPs, my bias is still long. My bias today remains long. It just needs to wait to see, maybe on this 4-hour candle. All right, we've come back in. If we look at the H1, H4, just keep thinking about this. Where have we just drifted back into? This is the level, right? RBS. There's the breakout through it. There's the retest of it. We're looking for this today. All right, if we fail under here, we can think about a rotation. But all the time we're holding this, I'm thinking about potential longs. I definitely don't want to get short down here. That is asking to get hurt. Look at this. Walk down, wash, return. If you're short down here, you're going to get stuck. So I'm not interested in a short down there. That is a long for me from that position. But unfortunately, structure is not allowing us to get long right now. Back to VWAP we go. Okay, back to VWAP, back to Globex. Same levels, folks. We need acceptance back through here. This is where volume overnight is trapped. Remember, buyers overnight currently are trapped here. If we've just trapped enough shorts down here, which based on that delta is very, very possible, and they start covering, we'll reclaim this. We reclaim this, we're off to the races. We're going to need some of the mag, though, to start participating. So that is what I'm looking at, folks. All right, that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to have to snipe an entry and be patient here because we're just inside of the opening range. Opening range right now, 83 points. No acceptance outside of the opening range. We can't reclaim flow zones and VWAP with a bid above yet. We've not been able to base above yet. That will change when enough people get stuck. Where they're big sellers at the VWAP because it dropped right away. I'm not really sure why we dropped there. Possibly. Sellers definitely in control so far in this session. So far. We just got to wait to see if this high time frame pullback finishes. We've got news as well, right? Let me check the news. 10:30 natural gas. Done by them. Not much news. VIX still holding up here. It's a big shove up on VIX, coming right into a key level of 1680. 1680 was a pivot from 7 o'clock yesterday. So if we get through that, I'm going to go deeper sell on the market, I think. So back to that opening range. Still no breakout of that opening range. We're just trading inside, creating a range. Remember, this is a higher time frame level that they might want to trap and buy off. It's why I'm not really interested in getting short down here. If this sells and goes all the way down to previous day point of control, I'm not too worried about missing this 40 points. It's a little bit risky for my appetite right now, unless we really show some strong conviction. Nvidia all-time high. Yeah, Nvidia's all-time high. AMD broke out yesterday. We're looking for Apple to do the same. It's $5 short. It just can't seem to do it, but it will come. I've got a feeling everyone's constantly looking to pick this top at the moment. I think we're going to go risk on again for a new leg up. This is definitely the most hated move ever in the stock market since March. There's so much cash on the sidelines waiting to get in. And I think everyone's going to keep guessing the top. We're going to keep moving higher and higher and higher and higher. This bubble is going to go for a little while longer. I'd say quite a considerable amount of longer before it goes pop. Yes, we can offer a pullback towards the end of October. Seasonal pullback 10%, sure. No problem. At 10% in this market is absolutely nothing. We're up 50% on the year or something ridiculous. I think we've got room to go higher, especially if earnings come out and you see, like, you know, the demand for chips increasing, the demand for quantum increasing, you know, the ability to have less and less staff, so your P&L lines getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You're going to see some whoppers in earnings. And if that happens, you're going to see some outrageous moves, I think. All right, new lower date ES. We're still not moving really here, folks. We're in 83 points of range in the first 30 minutes. Quite happy to sit flat here and let this do a dance. If it wants to break down to previous day point of control, by all means, if you guys want to take that, if you're short versus flow zones or VWAP, it makes sense. It's just, I like sticking to pro trend where possible. I don't want to get short down here personally. It's just how I like to trade. It's what keeps me safe. But if you like this structure, if you're looking for this breakdown, by all means, don't let me stop you trading. I've taken that short which felt more safe from previous day value area high for that wash. I'm done with that now. What do I mean by the phrase risk on, risk off? Hedge funds allocating money. All right. So if hedge funds think, okay, we're in a risk on environment, we're comfortable, the market's stable, we need to put risk on the table, we need to bet on the table, you will see an inflow of money. And that will start in the safer names, the tech names and AI names. And then that will slowly trickle down into everything else, which is why the Russell is always last to move. If you look at any move where we've done a ginormous move in the Qs and the spiders, and the Russell comes later. Why? Because Russell is the last thing to get risk on, because they're small caps. They're the highest risk assets. They give the best risk, they get the best reward, but they have the highest risk. So if we go risk on, we got a new move higher. If we go risk off, if they're too concerned about the effects of tariffs, if we've loosened too much and Fed need to actually tighten, then we go risk off. Then you see major profit taking. That's when you see a bigger move down. Yeah, quite right, Peter. But the thing is with all these things, Peter, this is why I like these names swing, right? I don't trade. I'm not trading AMD. I'm not trading Nvidia. I'm not trading these mega caps. I'm buying them, right? I'm buying them at good levels and I'm forgetting about them as much as possible and just let them grow. Just let them grow, man. Let them do their thing, because the growth opportunity in these names is massive. There's no way we're going to move away from chips, that we're going to move away from quantum, that we're going to move away from AI. It's still early. The tech is still early, right? We might think that, it's overexposed. Man, this is early. ChatGPT's been around, for a couple years? All these things are a couple years. We're going to keep advancing. The demand's going to go up and up and up. All these crypto companies, these crypto miners will move into chip data centers. They will have exponential growth as well. You can just see it. The writing is on the wall. And when they start saying it in the media, oh, it's a bubble, it's a bubble, it's a bubble. Man, you got to think the guy saying that's hoping it crashes to buy more. Right? They want it to crash so that they can buy it. Look at what happened with the tariffs. Oh, it's all over. The world's going to shit. We're going to sell. And while they're saying all that, the hedge funds are like, thank you very much. I'll take all your money off you. Right? O&J, how do you see the money flowing in? So they're risk in and off? Risk in and off? I'm not sure what you mean there. You'll watch the volume. You'll watch the names start to tick higher on volume. You'll see the order flow. You'll see like huge orders come in, both on the options chain and in the market. And you'll just see steady growth. All right, failing to make a new low there on NQ. We are still just in a range. We're not through the VWAP. We haven't traded outside of that opening range. Still holding that higher time frame level. Yeah, exactly, Aaron. And they're all going to start doing it. They're all going to start doing it. And even if they don't do it, right, what they're going to start doing is the smaller this for me is going to be a cycle, right? I don't know if any of you were trading like back in COVID times, but back in COVID times, everyone started releasing. Cooper, remember this? If you were trading small caps, everyone for about 3 months just did press releases that just had the word Bitcoin or crypto in it. And once we'd gone through that cycle, everyone had the word that said NFT in it, all right? And you put NFT out in your press release at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, and you'd wake up to a 500% gap up on your stock, right? So even the names who aren't going to do it, I fucking guarantee you, they are going to start turning around soon and being like, oh, we're moving from a crypto miner to a data center provider for AI. We're looking to do a deal with Nvidia and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And you're going to see these massive gap ups in these stocks on the Russell. I promise you. It was the same when we had weed stocks like 2019 or whatever it was. It's just going to be a cycle, a money-making cycle. And some of them will be legit and some of them will not. Right, we are still stuck here between VWAP and between the current opening range low. ES is starting to find a bid. We have bids below still on the queues to get filled right here. 60, 55, 50, 40, those are all very passive. I'm looking to see if some momentum comes into this market at some point. Meta's gone red to green. Let's have a little look here. What some of these doing. Tesla, just stuck in a range. Microsoft has found a bid off the low. Meta found a bid off the lows. Look, it's about, is that previous day high right now? If it gets acceptance above that, Meta can get going. That's looking a bit better. Google looks absolutely horrific again. Another awful day for Google. Amazon's found a bid underneath pre-market lows, trying to find some recovery. Apple looks absolutely horrific. Right, so that's the problem right now. The mag does not look good. Does not look good. Even if you fill in a contact, US form of NVIDIA, the press release says dealing with NVIDIA. Where do you start? Where do you start to learn to trade? What for you, Charles? Or are you talking about for me? If I was you, I would honestly, I would just do start with my $99 course, and I think you might even get a deal on that right now if you use FCT. That is like the most well-rounded. Okay, it's a well-rounded. There's a okay, two things. There's a free course on my YouTube, or if you go onto flowzonetrader.com, you'll find it there. There's a free course there. Start with that. All right, if you like how I teach, I would say then do the $99 course because it's nice and cheap. I think you'll might get a discount like 10% or something for that. Do the $99 course if you're brand new. All right, it's a small investment. It's 2 hours long. It teaches you the core mechanics and basics that you need to know for trading and investing. Once you do that $99 course, if you want to do the full course, which is 20 hours, and you want to learn my playbook and how I trade, you get a $99 discount on that full course. You basically get that first trading course for free. That is what I personally would advise. I'm biased to my own stuff. There's plenty other educators out there. I think I break stuff down to make it very, very easy for you to understand as a newer trader. That's what I would say. But go and do your own research. Maybe you don't like how I trade or how I explain it. That's just pedagogy. Everyone teaches a different way. If I make it too hard for you to understand, try and go through YouTube, find an educator that you understand how they trade, that you understand that they can teach you the mechanics of the market. It's the most important thing. That would be my advice, my friend. Start with the free stuff on the free course on YouTube first. Make sure you like how I teach, because that's really important. It's no different to going to school. If you've got a lecturer or a teacher who just fails to break stuff down in a way that you understand, remember, we all learn in different ways. If you can't understand that educator, you're going to struggle. But the moment you find a teacher where it's like, oh, that makes sense, they make sense to me, go with that teacher. It might not be me. Hopefully it's me. It might not be me. It might be someone else. Aaron, Alex is a human Yoda. What, as in I look like Yoda? I'm bigger than that. It's a bit rude. Nate, the best course and content on YouTube. Worth the investment. Oh, thanks, Nate. Don't do the course. We need bad traders to create opportunities. Well, you're right. It's a zero-sum game. I mean, you are right, mate. You are right, JD. We do need terrible traders out there. Ideally, we don't want them in our crew, though. Let's just leave all those traders somewhere else. We take their lunch money. Oh, John Dennis, very kind, saying you won't find a better teacher than Alex. I'm being very objective. Richardson did the course. It was awesome. Mike says, I spent $5,000 on a course on the past and it was complicated, unfortunately. Yeah, very, very common story. It can be complicated or they can be really just bad because it's so objective trading and it's all about teaching styles. You can see we're still holding on to this higher time frame level. All right, this is why I don't want to get short down there. Is there possibility of this break? There is. There's no point lying about it, but we are wedged in, and this is a higher time frame level, and I will respect higher time frame buyers more than I'm going to respect lower time frame sellers. All right, so it doesn't mean I'm bidding off this right now. We haven't seen, like, we had a little go here. We haven't seen us reclaim up here, so we just sat patiently waiting, folks. If they want to do this all day, all right, they can do it all the day. Remember, they're looking to trap volume in one way or another. At the moment, overnight buyers are stuck up here. There's no doubt about it, right? Overnight buyers are stuck up here, but sellers from yesterday are still stuck from down here, right? And we blew them out, and we can think about this as a pullback, all right, into this level here is a flag level. Deeper pullback will be previous day point of control, bang on 50%. So a flag normally comes into this area here, which is what we're currently doing. If we wash, then we can think about that inverse head and shoulders if we find a bid, not before we find a bid, if we find a bid. Do I recommend trading futures from the get-go? GG, I recommend you try, I will say it honestly, I would recommend you try a few different things. All right, futures aren't for everyone. You might find something that suits you better elsewhere, but the learning process, the way the market works, is exactly the same for any asset. All right, so everything I teach you will work, whether you're trading crypto, small caps, big caps. It doesn't matter what you're trading. They are the same setups. All right, the market is just looking to find someone offside, ideally big players or lots and lots of small players offside. That's all the market's looking for. Can we trap one lot of participants and go the other way? That's all the market ever wants to do. And once you understand that, there's just different ways of looking for it. So you will trade small caps slightly different, but the process is the same. But yeah, do I love futures? Yeah, I really like trading one asset. If you listen to my podcast with Austin Silver, I talk about it. What I found exhausting with the trading small caps and large caps was having to come to the screens every day and then having trade ideas up and watching the scanners and trying to find what was moving and what was gapping up and what was a day two play and what was a T+2 like squeeze play. And it was just overload, absolute overload. So now I trade futures and then I pull my money out of that and I buy stocks. Yeah, that is true, JD. Futures are great because you don't have to borrow shares for shorts. You don't have to think about and plan ahead in terms of having availability. You can buy and sell at any point, or sell and buy. Do I trade futures too? Well, yeah, that's what we're doing right now. This what you're watching is the futures chart, Nasdaq, and yes, I trade them. Okay, so we're coming down. Just filled that buyer down there on the tape. Still more liquidity below. We still have not made a new low on the day. You can see this high time frame level is still holding up. Why? It is the daily level. Look at the daily charts and your H1 charts. We go back. Ooh, we need to do 1 day. Right, where are we trading into? We talked about this pre-market, didn't we? These highs, this area here is key. All right, we know Monday, Tuesday high. Those who have done the course, Monday, Tuesday high. All right, Monday, Tuesday low. This is big, isn't it? This matters for what we do over the next 48 hours, folks. Those who have done the course. All right, those who have done the course will know. Think about what we're trading into. Look at it on an H1. What are we trading into? Very clearly. Big level. All right, big level. Fail under here. Potential previous day point of control, previous day value. Really deep wash, previous day value area high. If we do that and we leave an island up here, all right, I'd be very concerned for these buyers long term. Until we do that, not really thinking beyond that. What's previous day POC? Point of control, previous day point of control. So based on volume, it was the area or the exact price which was traded the most frequently yesterday by both buyers and sellers. So it's considered fair value, right? So this here is a level that buyers and sellers said, hey, this is fair value for NQ yesterday, right? So we've moved away from fair value. So we've got what? Into premium. And right now, it looks like we're trying to see, hey, is this still fair value? Do buyers still want to buy off this? Or is that too expensive? And do we need to move into discount? Discount. Are these Darvas boxes? I don't even know what a Darvas box is, Hannah. No, these are just areas of volume, supply and demand, S&R, however you want to talk about it, that I draw. I work for a bank. Monday's bank holiday for the markets. Are the markets closed? Oh, I have to check, Richard. Probably, if it's a bank holiday, the stocks will be closed. Probably futures will be open for a little bit. I came across the channel that streams the heat map for ES and NQ. Are there lots of ticks and tack sounds? Do you know what those are? Yeah, I mean, if I put my volume up, yes. The sounds are normally volume coming into the market, all right? And stops getting popped as well. So you can have different sounds for those. All right, we're still trapped between the opening range low and these flow zones. Let's put some volume on here now because we're getting close to the initial balance. Let's see what we're trading at today. It's going to be a tight range. Again, trading view very, very slow here. That should take seconds to do, not longer than that. You can see current point of control on the session right here, 73.25. It's the area that's been traded the most today. Is Trump speaking? I didn't see him talking, but that doesn't mean that's the case. Let's have a look. No, Johnson speaking. He's saying Trump called me last night after the peace deal was done. I mean, I believe that when I see it. Let's say if we can go 4 weeks without a bombing or something. Trump and I lament the terrible shutdown situation. Not seeing much here. Crypto feed, fear and greed index just got released at 70. Nothing happening. There you go. Thanks, Coop. It's just bank bond market holiday, so not for the market. Do I manually set my previous day point of control? Do you have an... I manually do everything contorted. Manually do everything. How important is initial balance? It is important. For me, it matters because it sets the tone of what type of day we're in. I have my rules are based on initial balance. Okay, here we go. Finally breaking down under here. Coming into that 5-day SMA on the ES. ES might want to come back down towards 75 if it really wants. And spiders maybe into those 70s. VIX still pushing here. So now we've washed and instantly turned back inside. So if any short trap got, followed in, look at the delta here. Look at the big volume, big delta. Lots of sellers came in here. All right, if they got trapped trying to sell underneath here, and we fail to get acceptance under and we trade back inside, we'll use them to go higher. So sellers really need a new low now. If they don't get it soon, they're going to get, let's call it squeaky bum. All right. Sellers who came in for this breakout, probably underneath 50, are now underwater. They are underwater. So if we trade under that low, they're going to be okay. If we don't trade under that low, they are going to get stuck and they're going to get caught. Because it's a higher time frame level, it's a sweep, and you can see biggest volume on the day outside of the open, so outside of MOO. Biggest volume on the day, biggest sell volume on the day, They will need a new low here or they will get stuck. ES coming right into that key level. So 5-day here, and then I'd say 77s to 75s look key. Why do I teach from TradingView and trade from Ninja, not both the same? Because two things. One, I don't have the volume on TradingView. Two, I can't do things like this, and I can't move through screens like this. All right, I don't have things like the VIX, the ES, well, I do have the ES, the spiders, the QQQ, the MAG. Right, so I can't teach efficiently on Ninja Trader. I wish I could. I've talked to them about improving drawing tools and things like that. So I think they are making it more available, apparently, on the, what are they calling it now? Okay, so it looks like they got trapped, didn't it? It's starting to look like they get trapped. Okay, let's wait. Can we get going here, market? Can you start to get some upside through 80, some acceptance over VWAP? What are we doing? Can we get going here? Back to POC. We need to get back above current POC. Back above the VWAPs would be ideal. And we are going to leave all these delta, all these sellers who were impatient and chased down here, we're going to leave them trapped for the day. Down here, the higher time frame buyers hopefully step in, and we're going to do one of these. We're going to respect this area. If we trade up, we're going to respect this area because it's supply, and if we get through this, then we're going to look for those highs. But really, we're going to need to see a turnaround in this market to do that. So we need to get acceptance back over here and then back over here for the next leg. VIX getting stuck right in that supply block. Okay, 80's coming here. Let's go, baby. Let's just move aggressively away. What are we doing on the mag? We found bids. Apple still looks terrible. Amazon a bit better. Google looks terrible. Meta just found a big bid. Microsoft doesn't look the best. Nvidia looks like it's flagging to go higher. That looks good. Tesla looks good. So we're not in unison here. So I'd say Tesla looks good. Nvidia looks good. Meta looks okay. The rest don't look great. It would be nice if they got in unison. It really would make our life easier for once. I can't remember the last day we came to the market and the Mag 7 were all doing the same thing. It's been a while. It has been a while. Still no long trigger. We need to trade through these 80s. This is the pullback to where they got stuck. If bids come in here and we start driving up, then I'm going to know that we're going to leave those sellers stuck. But still waiting. No long trigger yet. We need to reclaim, definitely need to reclaim flow zones. Really, I'd like to see us get over these kind of highs here. That's what I'm saying 80s, because this is where sellers have come in once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times here. All right, I want to see us trade back over this. That's what I'm waiting for the trigger. If we can't do that, I'm not going to get long. At the moment, my feeling is shorts are stuck at low of day, but we need to use their pain. Until we start using their pain, I cannot get long. So just patiently waiting. Remember, folks, the range, again, still very, very small today. 90 points initial balance, which is going to be set in 3 minutes. And you know what we're doing? We've gone over this the last few days. What is that? No, it's not what I'm trying to do. Need this guy here. Guess what? We're in these 20-point ranges again. All right. 20-point ranges, 20-point ranges, 20-point ranges. NQ loves doing this at the moment. I don't know why, but it's what it seems to be obsessed with doing. It's just 20-point range rotation over and over and over and over again. All right, if these shorts get lucky, they get let out here. If they get lucky, they get let out here. They will be very, very lucky players if they get let out, because they currently have the worst short position of the day, underneath value, in a higher time frame level, chasing the short. If they get let out here, they'd be very, very lucky. If you look on the top right of your screen, we're in a liquidity building phase. We're between, we know this is choppy in here, higher time frames between lower time frame algo, higher time frame algo. This is your liquidity building phase while the market makes its mind up. It's going to require major patience today. Contorted man, it's really cool when this starts to make sense. I'm just trying to avoid overconfidence, but it's starting to click. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So they're not letting them out yet. They're not letting these guys out yet. These short sellers down here. They've got the worst position of the day, any seller down there. They'll be very lucky if they get let out. Back to that opening range. Structure still in a sell, technically, from lower time frame, from the New York. All right, we're still in a sell. We're going to have to wait for this to get long. All right, not getting long until we see that change. That sentiment would need to change. If these sellers get lucky, we get a new low here underneath this down to here, and they get to cover their position in the money if they get lucky. Yeah, 180. 180 for me is the trigger. This right here, we can put it in. The base over this really is basically the trigger for me to be perking interest of getting long. Yeah, I'd be about to be set, quite right, Troy. Morning, Scott. How's it going, brother? Spider's getting close to that block into 670.50 we talked about. Okay, IB now set. So now you can think about auction versus failed auctions. Is it? Let me check again. Let me check again. This looks good to me. Value area low is right. Value area high seems good. There or thereabouts. Yeah, it might be Paul. It might it just might be the difference between Quant Tower. Like, I don't know. I don't use Quant Tower, so I can't tell you. But that might be what it is. Okay, ES or SPY and ES coming right into that level now. This is the main level on the spiders. 170 50s, I'd say 170 70s down to 170 40s, 170 670 70s down to 670 40s if you're trading the ETFs. If we fail under that, it probably wants PDL on the spiders. But this is the big RBS zone where it's just traded into on the spiders. Same on ES. I'd say where we are now, down to sort of 74s. If it finds a bid there and trades back inside initial balance, that would be the failed auction. If we fail this level, we're going to go previous day low. Definitely some form of liquidation break here so far. Getting near that previous day point of control now. We're right at the high time frame algo. That IB is going to be pretty key because it's the same level we just broke down from. It's basically where those sellers came in. Where's my... There we go. I was like thinking, where's that all gone? So this is going to be key here. Failed auction versus auction will be very, very key here into sort of 244s. So those of you who trade the IB, I'd be watching this carefully now. If we trade back inside and start basing through here, then we're going to have a failed auction today. Yesterday was a really, really clear auction day. Someone asked me yesterday or earlier today, how key is initial balance? Think about this yesterday. Clear trend day. Did we ever let go of initial balance? Once we were over it, based above, trend day, trend day, trend day, trend day. Target was 400, remember, off the weekly newsletter. Today, it is a big under over as well. All right, if we go through here, it doesn't have to be right now, but in the next 30 minutes or so, all right, if they trade back through here and start getting acceptance, it will leave sellers trapped. If we reject initial balance and reject value, we can come back down to test these levels. So far, we are in a sell today. No doubt about it. I'm not really interested in these sells. You can see you might be like, oh, you've missed these huge opportunities. We've barely moved, right? We're not moving aggressively. It's very, very slow. It's being very, very carefully controlled at the moment. There's no panic in this to sell with. It's nothing more than a pullback in my mind until it proves otherwise. Yeah, I was short the first breakdown. I think it was here. One of these was short, and then I took the long here, I think, or here, and then stopped out, and then have ignored all of this while we build that liquidity. Okay, point of control coming up by the looks of it. Does ES want to go previous day low here? Do we go much, much deeper? It's kind of somewhat surprised they want to do this move at all, but we will see. No panic in the market yet. VIX still pushing. VIX is at 17s. So still in a range. Just remember, we're still in a range. We're in yesterday's range. What's that daily level? Is it 180s? Yes, 180s looks a huge level to me. You will find it. Is it this one? Here. Projections, fixed volume profile. There's a free video for it on YouTube, mate. If you just watch my YouTube. There's a whole section on trading volume. That's for Tyson. Big level for ES here. Needs to hold on here. If it doesn't hold on here, it's probably going to go previous day low on ES. We're at point of control. Under this, we have the previous week high and previous day value area low. Coming into that daily exchange of Monday, Tuesday. The open close of Monday, Tuesday, which was also the high of Friday and the high of Thursday. That's a big, big level. If they let go of that, ooh. So now traded through here. Rid of that. So into the next block, you can see we kept talking this morning. One of these blocks I expect to get a big reaction of. We haven't seen it yet. But we did see one first reaction here. Still in a sell. Market's still in a sell. Still going to consider that initial balance as key today. As always. Rule-based versus that initial balance. All the time we're under it, we're in a sell. When we reclaim it, we're in a range rotation. Patient, 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 patient. I think This is near the 50% swing to swing, is it? Let's have a look. What's that swing? 89. What did I say? 80s is going to be key. Okay. Remember, the move back up doesn't have to come today. They, if they're going to do it at all, maybe they do it tomorrow. Without a doubt, we've left buyers trapped above previous day value area high now. There's no doubt about that. So I don't want to try and like force the long here. If it doesn't want to come to us today, it doesn't come. That's okay. Happy to sit here. Over 120 of you have not smashed that like button today. Come on, do me a favor, team. Doesn't cost you anything. Yesterday, we got some absolute bangers. Some of you held runners for that move to 400. And if you get the weekly newsletter, it's all in there. All right, they're trying to see if some buyers want to step in here. Still think there's room lower at the moment. You can see this big bid down at 25,200. Just check the book map on ES. Biggest order on ES, 6755. Look at the mag. Tesla near lower day. Nvidia pulling back aggressively here. Microsoft looks terrible still. Meta looking a bit better. Google just looks absolutely awful. That stock looks just so bad. I'd hate to be someone in Google at the moment. I don't like the look of that whatsoever. Amazon pulling back. It needs to hold these kind of levels, 220s. 222 to 220, I'd say it would need to hold that on swing positions. Apple, oh, again, terrible. Just washed the lows of week. All right, we just took out low of week on Apple. Starting to not make me feel too comfortable. But again, I am $50 up a share. It's not like the worst in the world, but I'm looking for that 160 break. Okay, previous day point of control now tagged. Previous day point of control tagged. Seeing some reaction to this here. See if we go back to initial balance and what we do when we get there. That's what I'm waiting for. Remember, I'm focused on the longs. I was short this morning. I'm focused on the longs. I'm waiting to see if we find a reaction. This is fair value from yesterday. If buyers still want to reclaim, the new level I'm looking at is basically IB. If we reclaim IB, think about something like this. All right, watching IB and watching value area. Squeeze through that, we go back to top side of value. Good for you, Swoosh. No shift in structure to being a buyer yet. Nothing yet. Have to wait to see if they trap shorts. So far, they've had one attempt to trap shorts and they let them out. And it might be that we just keep moving down. I mean, it's possible. Like, if it really wants to let go today, if we get underneath previous day value, we can retest all the way back to 25 113s to 25 100. I'm somewhat surprised if they let that happen in this session, but it's possible. Not going to rule it out. Not going to rule anything out right now. We're outside of initial balance, but we are into these key levels. Remember, the main move has been up. We extended. We came into that Bollinger Band, and we're pulling back now towards the 180s, which is where the open, close, and old highs are. That is going to be a huge level on the daily and weekly. Absolutely massive. If they start getting stronger sales under there, market can be in deeper problems if we can close under it. Won't necessarily be this session. I haven't been in this much pain in a while. It's crazy. I did the most rehab I've done in ages yesterday. And I'm in more pain than I've been in for months. I'm going to get a refill of the coffee here. Hopefully this doesn't completely swipe up without me. Oh, getting old, folks. I'm getting old. I'm already old. I'm not even getting old. I'm old. Morning, Alex. All right, those of you who are in short look good. Am I going to regret not focusing on the shorts here today? That's a question. If you were short versus IB or any of these, you need to be covering some down here. These are your next levels for your runners. If you get very lucky, you get down here. 1-8. This kind of level in here is a daily and weekly level, all right? I'm somewhat surprised if they let it wash underneath that level. But like I said, I'm not going to trade long until I see a shift. Right now, we are in a pullback mode. Higher time frame is pulling back. Clear liquidity on the book, 25,200s right now. ES liquidity for trading ES is 770s and 55s, right? 755s. So here's the 200s. I think that previous day value area low and the 180 level is going to be very, very key indication. How am I able to overcome keeping still? Oh, you mean how? You mean the other way around? Like, how am I able to stay still and not trade? Just years of doing it, I guess. Just being willing to wait to see what I want and understand. Like, I don't feel as bad today that I've missed. Like yesterday, I missed that long and I got the wrong side. Right, that is more painful for me than waiting for this because we've talked about this pullback all morning. Right, this is what we've talked about all morning. We drew it out right at the start. So I expected us to trade into one of these levels. My main premise every day is where can I get, well, in a bullish market, where can I get long? In a bearish market, where can I get short? If this is like, for some bizarre reason, going to be the start of the bearish market, right, and we're going to go on do a 10, 20% pullback in this market, I don't mind if I miss the first day of selling because I'll have opportunities for the next couple weeks to start selling, right? One day is not going to define me, right? We're into this previous week high here, folks. We just tagged it. That red line on your chart, that's previous week high. I'm going to get rid of this blue now. We don't need that. All right, so we're bidding right now off previous week high. That's what they're trying to bid off at the moment. Apple's trading right at its initial balance low. Market still does not look great. Nvidia 2% up, Oracle 2.38% up, Meta 0.22% up. You're starting to see a little bit more bid action here. Remember, initial balance, opening range, value area low, all going to be key on the day. They are going to be your key indicators on the day. Back to these flow zones. I'd say it's got to get through. Yeah, really, you'd need to see acceptance back through the initial balance. Otherwise, there's no failed auction. Don't want to rule out all the way down here. I don't want to rule it out. I'd find it somewhat surprising, but I don't want to rule it out. 100s, etc., etc. I think we'd probably stop in and around here between here and 180, but I'm not going to rule out a move to 100 today, just in case it wants to be a little wild. Seen it do it before. Alibaba, you're still in the short, targeting 21,152. Let me see that target. It's an interesting target underneath previous day value. I'd be somewhat careful. I can see there's an imbalance there, but it doesn't need to come that far down. It doesn't need to do that far down. The swing point, we just tagged 50% to the dot. That blue line is 50%. So we just completed 50% pullback. You've got previous day value area low below it. It doesn't have to come down into that golden pocket. It might come down, but just all I'm saying is I'm not sure where you got short, but make sure you're paying yourself some money. Yeah, it happens, Enrich. Nice, Foster Scott. Good work, team. Those of you who took the shorts today. I'm going to wait. Normally when this happens, as long as I'm patient, I can find a position. That might be a little bull trap up to initial balance low, which fails, which I can short back down. That might be a reclaim of key levels for a squeeze all the way back up, which I can play long. VIX right now is still pushing, holding over 17s. Patient, 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 patient. Big volume transacted down here, folks, as well. Noticing that. Big volume and big sell delta at the lows, right? Delta high, volume big. Sellers trapped under here again. Same story. These are the kind of signatures which I look for. I don't trade versus that. I now wait to see if we abuse them. Here we go. Okay, so we're holding previous week high. We didn't even get to 180. We got to 192, and here we go. So now it's starting to feel like they're trapped. Fantastic. It's first time today I felt a bit better here. I want to see volume step in, reclaim of initial balance high. I need to get through all these flow zones, and then we can see what's what. So that delta giving us our first clue that there might be short sellers trapped who probably got short at previous week high, stupidly. Don't ask me why they do that. I can't tell you because they're mental, absolute mental, folks. All right, so back to high time frame algo. This is starting to pivot over now. So we want to see, a little pullback in, a hold, a push, back over initial balance, back through some of these levels here, and then we can think about what's what. Like I said, I didn't think it would come back under 180. That was the kind of level here. Here we go. Get your ass up over initial balance. Let's have some fun. So here's the first pullback. If they hold 220s now, that's going to be sort of market makers saying, hey, we don't really want to move lower. I'm still going to wait. All right, I'm still going to wait. This can be a bull trap over this swing. So I'm still going to wait. This is what I'm seeing so far. Liquidity is trapped under here. Market makers, if they're going to be bullish, I want to see them hold this, and really, I want to join here. I'm trying to make this as clear for you as possible. They do not want to let go of sort of 220, 215s. This is where they're stuck. The sellers are stuck under here right now. You can see it right here. If that moves away, see the delta, big sell, delta. This guy here is stuck, right? That's a big, big seller. If we hold this, and we do this, we're looking upside. We're going to respect these levels here, though. We're going to respect these levels here. Sellers might come back in here and try and defend. Looking good so far. That's what I mean. You have to be patient. Once you learn that patience will reward you, both with your entry and exit, it gets a bit easier. All right, here's IB. ES into IB as well. So everything in Confluence right now. VIX turning back under 17s. Oh, why am I in so much pain today? Is it true that in general people prefer shorting over going long? I don't think that's true. I don't think it's true. It's what I would say is in a market making all-time highs, the easiest, the biggest, how can I put this? I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. A very common error is to try and short all-time highs because you're like, hey, this can't keep going anymore, right? So that's probably what you're talking about. It's a very common thing to think this can't keep going, this can't keep going, this can't keep going. But when you break that down the other way, is why does it need to go down, right? If there's no supply, if there's no buyers trapped above you, which is what supply is buyers trapped above you. If there's no buyers trapped above you, what are you risking against on the short? That's the better way to think of it. There's no reason. That's just your brain saying, hey, it's too expensive. Well, guess what? Over time, everything goes up in value. It doesn't matter what it is. Everything goes up in value. All right. That's just called being on the planet. So it's the same with the market. Where will most of your money always be made in the market? Long, right? Zoom out, look at the beginning of the market to now. How much money have you made short? None. None. You might capture the odd pullback move, but even in a bear market, all that is a pullback, because all we do is go higher. Why will that happen? All right, let's think about the QQQ or the spiders, let's say. All right, if we're trading QQQ. QQQ is the top 100 tech-based stocks, right? And it's more and more weighted to the best performing stocks. And if you are a bad performing stock, if you're, let's say, 80 to 100 are bad performing stocks, and there's some guys not in the QQQ who are performing well, guess what they do each year? They relegate the shit ones out and they bring the good ones in and they rebalance it. So what does that mean? It means that your edge will always be to go long over a long period of time. All right, or it will always be to go long over a long period of time. It's built that way. All right, it's like, I don't know if you guys watch soccer or football. For me, Premier League, right? We get rid of the shit teams each season. 3 of them go down, 3 better ones come up. It's the same. It's the same in this asset. Out with profits looks scary to see money take money. I'm repeating your slogan in my head. Nice, Alibaba. Yeah, see money take money. Good work, especially on the short side. See money take money until it proves otherwise. Until, you know, we get higher time frame breakdowns. That's the kind of market we're in. You're the only person I've ever heard say that the market moves from trap traders. It makes sense. It's the only way the market moves. Other than, you know, us just being a risk on market. If it's like buy, and we're at all-time highs, but there's a reason for it to go higher. But normally the market moves based on trap traders, right? Think about it as any market. If you are, I'm trying to think, let's say you like watches, all right? And you understand the value of watches, and you go to a flea market, all right? Let's say I go down to Santa Monica flea market and I'm having a look and I'm like, oh, that's a, you know, Seiko SPB, or it's $300, or I can get that new for about the same price. So I'm not going to buy that. And I keep looking and keep looking and keep looking. I'm like, whoa, what's that? Let me pick that up. Wow, that's like a really nice Rolex Submariner, no date. Sorry, mate, how much are you selling that for? $5,000. Buy, right? I'm taking that off you because you have undervalued something which I know is worth 10 to 15,000. I'm buying it straight away. The market's the same, right? So if something's too cheap, the big players go, wait, we're way too cheap here. Buy, right? And that's when you get aggressive moves up. And if we're really far extended, and we've got completely out of whack, and the news is really bad, if we get some news event which is like, hey, by the way, we're starting to do that inverse head and shoulders. I'm watching here carefully to see if we start reclaiming for this long. Everything that we've already drawn out and talked about. And let's say we're really overextended and news comes out and it's very bearish news. You know, we're going into turmoil. Everyone's lost their jobs. There's no free money around. We're going to have to put interest rates up, which means it's more expensive to borrow money, and we're really extended. And then everyone goes, fuck, take your profit. Sell. That's when you get the big moves. Other than that, it's about who's trapped. It's just about who's trapped. Do I trade the PM session? Sometimes I trade it, sometimes I don't. Depends if I've made money or if I think there's a setup in the afternoon session. But I will always call that session the levels I'm looking at in Discord. Sorry, folks. I'm genuinely in agony this morning. What I've done to my neck. Okay, starting to see that inverse head and shoulders and reclaim. So thinking about feathering in here, watching this current value area low. We're trading through it now. So I want to see if we can extend up to that opening range into 60s. And I want to just see some kind of push up and then a pullback and a hold. At the moment, they can still afford a pullback into 29 to 20. So I'm not really willing to get long here yet. Either a push and a base or a pullback and a base and then a go again. Yes, nice acceptance through it. Really good. Have a look at the mag. Apple trying to hold on. Nice turnaround. Amazon trying to find a bid. Google looks terrible. That thing is just a piece of crap. Meta trying to find a bid over previous day high. Microsoft, a little bit of no man's land there. Nvidia found a bid. Nvidia found a bid, and that's what's woken this market up. Now, if Nvidia builds the right shoulder, we're going to really get going. Okay. Looking good here, folks. There's your breakthrough. So coming up to opening range here at 58, like we talked about. Then we've got VWAP, and if we start pulling back and holding any form of liquidity now to move higher, for me, bears are absolutely trapped down here like we talked about. When we got down here, we talked about that delta offside. We talked about this big volume. We've now reclaimed. All we want now is structure to be built out to go higher. All right, that's all we're looking for now. You can already be in this. If you're taking this, you can already be in it. But I'm ideally want to see this and then this, and I want a retest of this. And if the market really wants to get going today, then we can think about the upside move. But I'm going to respect what? Volume, all right? These are TPs right now, TPs, all right? And then here, and if we get lucky, we get all the way up here. So I'd say at the moment, this is starting to look like what? A failed auction underneath the IB. So if we protect the IB, maybe we trade into here before going. We're going to look for upside, more upside. But we have to be careful today because buyers, anyone who's been a dip buyer so far today is stuck. Right? This is the first time we had sellers stuck here. They let them out. This is the first time we've really had sellers stuck. Right? We must defend this to move higher now. Target one achieved. Nice, Scott. Yeah, I feel like I've got forward head, even though I spent yesterday really working on it to go the other way. Maybe I've pushed it too far. I don't know. Yeah, new H1 coming. New H1 coming. See how we're defending this thicker volume here. So sellers, this is a big level. Sellers defending this, buyers stuck here. So we can do this. This is basically real life supply. This is where buyers try to absorb, broke down. They're now sellers in there. All right, we'll have to get through that for a bigger move. So you'd be watching point control VWAP here. Can we shove up here? We're protecting IB nicely. Would love to see just a drive through all of this now. Nvidia looks fantastic. Want to see us really start driving. Let's go, baby. Okay, VWAP here, POC coming up, folks. This is why we're patient. Sellers on the tape here, 70s and 80s, looking to get filled right in that block that I've drawn out for you. Get acceptance over 80s, we're going IB high, I would say at that point. If we get acceptance over 80s, we're probably going IB high. ES coming into its New York VWAP as well. Oh my gosh, I'm really struggling to look around my screens. I'm really sorry, team. I know I keep moaning here. I cannot explain the amount of pain I'm in. This is the worst it's been for quite a few months. Feels like rehab is making it worse, not better. Don't like how we built structure here, so just be careful of that wash. All right, the way they built structure is not the prettiest. Not the prettiest. Same story every day. Can we trap sellers? Sellers failing to take control of higher time frame levels. So I'd say if they hold current value area low, initial balance low, that trend line going down, if they hold any of that area, buyers will try and step in. Buyers will need now acceptance over here. So you're looking for a hold of here to move up through this. If they're really dirty, they're going to do this. If they're really dirty. I probably want a retest of that if possible today. That would be really nice. I haven't taken anything yet. No, nothing yet. I might have to go and get my Theragun, guys. I'm in that much pain. Bear with me. I'm going to have to go and get it. I know it's not ideal for a stream, but I don't have a choice. I'm in agony. All right, here's your IB. I'm going to sound weird talking with this on. So this is the pullback we're talking about. Let's see if buyers come in here or if they want to do that dirty move lower. Fill that little imbalance down here. Hopefully buyers come in soon. All right, ES holding IB and trying to hold flow zones. We're trying to do the same here. I'm just waiting. I wonder if they need one more little leg down. There's a buyer down there at 35s at the moment, right on that higher time frame algo. Just want to be slightly concerned because this is supply. It can bull trap over these swings. So I'm just being concerned, or being cautious is a better way of putting it. We are starting to protect that initial balance. Nice. Good reaction so far. That VWAP right there. Really, when we want strength through VWAP, really. And I want to see them start lifting the offer and buyers start coming in here. We've shifted value now. What's this low volume node? Yeah, right on that IB. We want to protect that low volume node, really. If we don't protect it, then we can afford to come right down to here, which is not ideal. So making this tricky, but it's a rotational market right now. We're inside value. So think about this now. We're inside initial balance. We're inside current value on the session. We're inside previous value on the session. What do we expect? Chop. All right, we expect choppiness inside value. So see money, take money. I can't remember who said that earlier. They're quite right. We expect choppiness inside of value. We're an inside bar, fail breakout above. Inside bar trading down to those key levels. Those daily and weekly levels, remember we said would be 180-ish, 186. What was our low of day? Let's just think about this. We're going to hold on here. All right. This level here was key. 185s. We traded 193. So I kept saying 180 is going to be key. And we're finding bids now. This is looking better and better and better for upside squeeze potential at this moment. Back to VWAP. Can we get acceptance over VWAP? Can we start squeezing? Can we get through point of control? Can ES join in? ES not even at VWAP yet, by the way, team. So right, those deep pullback flow zones. Flow zones not through the deep pullbacks yet. Not through them yet. Just everything converging in a very tight area. So you've got initial balance, flow zones, deep pullback, New York VWAP, all converged very, very tight. We're right at that opening range. So we're coming back to back test that opening range at the moment. And the cluster of volume, which is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You can see this is getting bigger and bigger right now. Bigger and bigger. You could almost argue the edge is down here. I'd say probably here at the moment. This is your battleground. All right, through that, you can see when we get much thinner for a squeeze up. We get through that in a moment. Sellers defending this volume. They are defending this volume. Still got that buy down at 35. Seller at 70s at the moment. It's an odd place, but that means he's defending that 77s, which was the same trigger earlier. See, remember the trigger earlier? We said about the big long trigger earlier when we were in here. It's going to be above here. See how this is now the edge of volume? We've got all those short stops here. All right, they've done this. right? Then they've got trapped, and then we've gone up. We've tapped back into this same level. If they want to roll, they can come back down here. They can come right back down here. If they want to get really heavy today, they're going to have to trade back under value on the day. But they can afford to come back down here before retesting this if they want. It wouldn't be ideal because it means we'd let go of the initial balance first, but structurally, it's very much possible. You'd want to see this low volume node hold on, which is what we keep tapping into. Looking a bit better here. Nvidia looking a bit better. I want to see Nvidia break out above 194.57. We break that and then we break 194.80s. We're going to go for the all-time high again. And that will really help. Because then if AMD starts going for it as well, we start pulling this market and dragging this market back up, it'd be great. Man, I fucking, pardon my French, stop swearing, Alex. Should have bought bull yesterday on that big volume, that big sell. Huge, huge, huge volume down there yesterday. IREN. I'm sorry, Coop. I said we'll leave it alone because of that offering. It's 8% up now. All right, here we go, folks. A bit of a W setting up here. You've got to be careful because we've got VWAP here and supply above. But if you're long from IB, you look good now. You need to see acceptance through and a squeeze up. Nvidia doing that move we just talked about. Fantastic. Can we trade through 80s now on Nvidia and then get through to 4 new all-time highs? We look good here. Just want to see a squeeze up now. Watching this POC. Be careful. Lots of selling in here. Lots of sellers in here. If we catch them offside, we're going to get through these 80s. Remember that 80s was the trigger earlier. That's when, if I was a short seller, I'd get a bit squeaky. What has made you the most money, long or short? What in my career? Long. I'll tell you what's made me the most. Swing long. Simple as that. Swing long. Yeah, squeaky bum Noah, quite right. That's where that would be the point. At the 80s, that would be the point where if I was a short seller, I'd be like, oh no. Are they going to go all the way back to high of day? That would be the point for me where I'd get really worried if I was a short seller. Until that point, they're defending this pretty well. Didn't break the high there. So if we get through this, if I was a short seller in here, I'd be like, oh, bollocks. All right, so I always try and think about who's offside, where would they be? At the moment, shorts under here are offside. That's why we pushed away. This is your first sign of strength, away from this level. All right, so buyers would not want to let it come back in here. They need to defend this level to keep these guys offside. All right, just think of it as a game. These guys are noobs, especially this guy here playing Call of Duty, who've just run into a room late and they just got murdered, right? These guys here, the other side as buyers, are pros, and they've already used their pain. Now we want to see if the pros make sure we don't come under 30s, right? They can trap noobs to come in here again as long as they hold 30s, and then we go and take all these guys out. We have to respect this volume. We have to. Leroy Jenkins, yeah, Leroy Jenkins. Just think of trading as like a massive game. That's all it is. It's a giant game. It's a game of liquidity and traps. That's all it is. One big game. Again, don't like how we're building up liquidity here. We're not seeing that bull flag. We're seeing higher highs underneath. And you might all think that's good, but it's not. We don't like it when it builds out like this. This is not how we want to see bullish liquidity built out. Right? This is dangerous. It opens up this move here. Right? What we actually want to see is it built out this way. We would have rather it went like this. Right? That would be much better for us. "45 minutes left." Are we in 20 points again? We are, aren't we? We're doing the same. Is this 60 off the low? And then what's this move here? 60 off the low, and then yeah, 20s again. Oh my god, NQ. Like, when are we going to stop doing this? All right, so Nvidia trying to build out that right shoulder. If you go to a 5-minute chart on Nvidia, you can look at an inverse head and shoulder quasi. That's what we're looking for in Nvidia. It's just pulled back on that 5-minute, found a bid on the 5-minute flow zones. So if we can build that right shoulder out and go for higher day, it will help. Oh, fuck. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'd ever let my kids play rugby, man. Maybe it's different now, but I was playing men's rugby at 14. It just broke me. My back has never recovered. Okay. If you're going to do it, do it. Come on. Put the Jets on. Watching ES. ES into New York VWAP. Thin here on ES, and then it gets thick in ES into 88. So if anyone's long ES, just be careful for that reaction into sort of 88 to 89s. Nice. Nice from ES. We still want to go and hurt those hearts. Hurt the hearts at 80. Squeaky bum the shorts at 80 is what we're looking for. So there's 70s. Here come the 80s. All right, we're almost there, folks. We're almost at the 80s. Trying not to take any off here. I'm trying to see if we can extend through point of control in 80s. Don't hurt my heart and come right back down. Bit of a battle here. You can see it on the tape, 75 and 80s. So they're trying to defend that 80s. If we get through 80s, you might get a bit of a pop. If we can get through 80s. A big if. If we can get through 80s. Point of control currently here. Make sure this is accurate. All right, this is your chop zone now. So sellers failed to defend this. We've traded to the top side of it. This is your chop zone. If we trade through this, should get an extension. If we run these stops at 80s, we should get an extension. Because I'd imagine everyone's stop is around here and here right now. So we trade through 80s, we should get 90s very quickly. If we get through that, we're through value on the day, and we're going to look for previous day value area high. We reclaim previous day value area high, right? Then potential bullish sentiment, but we still have buyers trapped up here overnight, right? So this is what we're doing at the moment. This, and this, and we're down here, right? The question for the next move, and it doesn't have to be today, right? If we get through here, do they defend this and do this move, right? Either this afternoon or tomorrow, or alternatively, do we do this, base out here, use this liquidity to make new highs towards end of week? All right, that is the question. And it is, both are available. Remember, trading, there's always two options available. It's never one-sided. There's always two options available. Target 2, Foster Scott. Nice. I'm going to use the bathroom here, folks. You know it's going to do something now. I'm using the bathroom. in that sort of chop zone again. Be very careful here if you've not taken profits. Be very careful here of this. All right, this build out of liquidity, unless they get acceptance up here. All right, we're very open here for a stop run of all these guys here who are they're trying to get this move we're looking for, but the way we built it is dangerous. All right, I just want to make you aware this is dangerous. It's opening up for this move down here before maybe revisiting later. And if they want to defend this, okay, and do this move here, they can do that. So I'm just making you aware of how we've formed it. Sometimes I think glasses give me neck ache. I know that sounds stupid, but do any of you wear glasses and like you have to like do things like this because you get the rim? Does that make sense? Did you hear that? Oh my god, that's my spine. I don't know if it heard that pop. Okay, probably going to come and sweep like we just talked about. Are my entries and exits automated? No, they're not. I don't automate anything. Taken out on your third trail, TG. Yeah, nice work though, Scott. It's a good trade. Where did you enter? Did you enter on? Are you trading ES? I'm trying to remember. Are you still trading ES? So did you take that IB, shove up into sort of 84, 85s, and then into VWAP? You take your glasses off when I'm at the computer, you get headaches otherwise. Coop said, I agree, do. Glasses over ear headphones do the same for me. Add weight throws me on. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm so blind, genuinely here, looking at my screens, I cannot see a thing now. I cannot see a thing. Okay, so here we go. Here's the wash we just talked about. This is all because of how we built this liquidity, all right? This is all because we built it like this. This is not what you want to see when we're looking for bullish moves, all right? It's the opposite of this, isn't it? This is really, really good for that move. This is really, really bad for this move, but it can open up a trap now. If enough shorts get encouraged to come in here, it can open up a trap somewhere down here. Right, if we wash these guys out, extend, reclaim, it can open up that trap, but not guaranteeing it because sentiment on the day, not on the higher time frame, but on the day, has been lower. This still, for me, is key. How did I mess up my neck? Well, I used to play rugby. I was a half decent player, and I played in an era where if you were good, you moved up the age groups before your bones were ready. So I was basically playing under 18s and Colts when I was 14 years old, and I enjoyed the physicality of it. So I've got arthritis all on my left shoulder. I've probably got some major damage in my spine. Bull bias is killing me today. Why RSG? I mean, it's just you just got to find your moments and not get over greedy. I'm not having a big day. I'm up like 540. Yesterday was a good day though. Yesterday was a good day. Did everything I wanted to see. We expect a wash here because of how we built that liquidity out. All right, we expect that wash here. We've gone over it. Yeah, LASIK, I have, and I should go and talk to someone about it. Really, I've just been too lazy to do it. I do have stigmatism in both my eyes, so I don't know if it will work for me. Hopefully, it would. Okay, so doing that move now we just talked about, starting to pop all those bulls who chased and didn't take profit. So now we just want to see, do we hold these kind of levels, 20s and 30s? If they let go of 20s, then no dice here, and we can go back to the previous day value area low. Maybe ES goes back to lows. as in previous day low. We'll see. NQPD. Well, it depends on the accounts I'm trading on, which account size I'm trading. But I have a trade copy, so I can skip over to them quickly. They actually just sent me the update, so I'm going to give that a go. Eduardo says, hello, this is the first time I've seen you live trade, and beyond learning your strategy, I'm learning more than anything from your patience. Ah, yes, important to be patient. I was told I wasn't a good candidate for LASIK since my eyesight's so bad. I think mine will depend on my stigmatism. So stigmatism's like when your eyes become more like disformed, like the shape is like oval and squished. So don't know if they can do much about that. I also worry, I've had some friends who've had it and had really dry eyes for the rest of their life, like painful burning. That worries me a little bit. You got short of the orb. Nice, Zar. You had a little bit of drawdown there, not too bad. If you traded the back side of it, though, it looked good. Right, so if you traded this side of it in here, that made sense down to here as a scalp. And you can hold runners if it goes beyond, but I would not be surprised to see buyers try and do this move here now. So if you're short, you should be partial here, and if you get lucky, it goes on a wash. But I would not be surprised, which is why I'd take a partial here, to see buyers try now and do this move here. It doesn't mean you should be completely out. There's no reason to be completely out if you took that short. Yes, holding its 5-day and its initial balance. Very slow day for me. But then when you look at the range, what have we got? 110-point range. And most of it, if this was last week, I would have been going mental. 20 points, 60 points, 60 points, 20 points. What's this? 50 points, 30, 40, 50, 60, 40 points. So maybe we do a little bit more. So it's a 60 just to make sure it keeps doing what it wants. And then maybe 20 points for ages and then maybe 60 back up. Here we go. We're going to complete the 60 point. Let's make sure we do exactly 60 points here, NQ. Oh, look at that. Which would be right down the previous deck point of control. Man, it's so weird what they're doing with this thing at the moment. It's been going for a little while. Yeah, all you need to do, PD, is 2 MQs is plenty to make money with. Let me see what you put. Nice. I'm doing 2 NQ at a time. Screwed up the last few days. Have to stop picking tops. PD, you're in the right place, my friend. If you're a top picker, you're in the right place, because I will scream and shout at you until I get that out of you. Do not be doing that. It's not how you. It's not the way to trade. How to aim long now? You need to see a shift, right? So you need to see protection of this, and you need to see a reclaim of this and build of liquidity to go up. Otherwise, you can't long it, right? But this under here is where shorts are trapped. You do not want them to be let out. If they're let out, if we come down here, very possible we keep going. Right, so we don't get long unless we see reclaims. There's a reclaim. Did we keep going? No, we failed. All right, so we stop out on runners. Comes back down. Some of you take the short the other side, which is absolutely fine. Makes sense. We are in a short day today so far. We're in that pullback day, higher time frame pullback day. Otis, you're a top picker too. Man, I will, like Coop said, I will beat that out of you. You just ask Hannah if she's still on stream. I screamed at her yesterday. We don't short the highs. Not how you trade. And it's meant with love. I don't do it to, there's no ego here. I do it. If any of you listen to any of my podcasts where I've featured, I do it because I lost all my money when I used to do that bollocks. I learned from some, don't swear, from some effing terrible traders who are scam artists who charged me money to come and learn from them, and I picked up some of the worst habits in the world. Coop knows exactly who I'm talking about. All right, me and Coop have known each other a long time. We've traded with the same kind of people. Like, there are some horrific traders out there who would teach you some bad habits. The worst habit you can have is picking a top. It's even worse than picking a bottom, picking a top, because the market's designed to go higher, right? They're the same trade, but you're actually even worse picking a top because, you know, at least picking a bottom within reason, the market will stop. All right, can't go below zero. You pick a top, the market can keep going forever. Now that plays out more when we're looking at small caps, but you get the premise. Don't, it structures everything. Wait for trap players, then play. What's Coop? Foster Scott. If going long again, MES needs to see 67750 to 6774 or hold. 67. Yeah, we're coming back down to that area now. And this is like those sort of 5 minutes where we spent time under here. What I'd say is if we don't hold this, that previous day low is available if they want to get very, very heavy. So far, we're trading right into value on the day, and they're trying to hold this. So remember, here's your engulfing away. Here's the trade away. Here's the trade back inside. This is the area they have to hold. They must hold this. Same kind of thing on ES. They have to hold this and build this out here for us to think about long. Otherwise, they can trade down here. They can come to here. They can come down to here if they want. It's available if they want. It is there if they want. I'll tell you what, though. If we close... If we close down here today, tomorrow and next week could be fireworks. It could be fireworks looking at that weekly. That's Coop saying trading's an awful industry. Too many scammers and really bad information, education. Alex, the only reason I'm still trading today. FCT methods are simple and very effective. Yeah, there's some absolute arseholes out there teaching really bad stuff. You know, if you're gonna pick the tops on a small cap, and I can't remember what it was it 60,000 down on live stream, and then you get out for 10,000 profit and rip your shirt open like you're a hero, then you're a twat. Absolute donkey. Oh man. Nice PD. I like this channel because it's not based on some indicator telling you what to do. Yeah, these are guidance. Like everything here, right? This for me is very simple. It's guidance. I talk about it as like stabilizers on a bike, or if you go to a bowling alley, what do they call it? Whatever they put down the gutter. All right, it's just to stop you getting the wrong side of the trade. Don't fight against this. All right, market structure first over everything. Always market structure and volume. But these have been selling all day. All right, and then here we turn around and we have a buy opportunity, not based on this, based on sellers being trapped. This is Confluence. We try. We don't like the way it builds up liquidity. We stop out, break even on the rest. It's into a sell now. We're back into where we found trapped sellers earlier. If we sell through that, we're going to keep selling. It looks like they're going to keep selling right now. So coming back down to test current low session. So buyers are not getting their way today. We're in a big sell day. Bumpers. There we go. Thanks, Chris. Right, so back into previous week high here. This is where Delta got caught offside earlier. This is where sellers got caught offside. So do we protect this, or are we going to have a day where we drift between 25,170 and 25,1? I guess that would be my question right now. Back to previous week high here. Is ES about to make a new low of day? If ES starts breaking down here, then it's probably going to go for previous day low, I would imagine. If they hold this, that would be a retest of the low. Again, I'm not really interested in long at this point because now we've just built out more range down here. And it's not that big. It's not that big. 60, 70 points, most of it. So protection of this. This is your range now. Down here. If they protect that, we move lower. It's why we don't bid against it. You would have said when we start breaking down, so we don't bid against it unless we create a formation to bid against it. Big volume coming in here yet again. Big sell volume down here again. They're looking, look, they're trying to force this down right now. These big sellers, same as here, big volume here, big sell side delta. Big volume here, big sell side delta. They are trying, all right? They're selling so hard here. They're trying to get this wash. At the moment, they're not getting their way. They're not getting the breakdown underneath previous week high. That's what they're trying to get the breakdown under. They're trying to get a breakdown under previous week high. If they get it, previous day low is possible on ES. Previous day value area low, definitely possible on NQ. And then where is previous day low on NQ? It's probably going to be very low. I mean, that seems unlikely right now, I would say. Somewhat unlikely. Okay, so yet again, big sell delta came in there and got stuck again down there. Same story as earlier, same exact place, same big volume. All right, if we pull this up, right, big volume and it's sell side, big volume and it's sell side. All right, these are sellers trying to force this rotation and they're not getting their way. So pushing back to flow zones, back to the high time frame algo here as well. Sellers up at 240s right now, which is basically IB. So look how we drip down. The opposite to here, right? Look at this. All right, this is never structure you want to see when you're looking for continuation. If you're looking for continuation higher, you don't want to see that. If you're looking for a continuation lower, you don't want to see that, all right? You want to see this. So now they're getting squeezed again. It's literally the same story as earlier, all right? The same participants doing the same thing, trying to force their opinion on the market, getting caught offside again. Exactly the same story. Nvidia still trying to build out that right shoulder. So we're going to go back to IB here. There's 240 on the book. Did ES sweep or not? No. So neither of us made a new low there. And now you really know if we take 180s, they're in big trouble. If we get through, sorry, 180s, 280s, we're in big trouble. Right, so do these sellers get their way here for a breakdown and a new low? If not, if we pop through 180 today, now we're going to have a big W and a big squeeze out above that as potential, that is. Yeah, compression and tapering, exactly. Exactly, Scott. I wonder if I hadn't seen Delta there, I'd think that we're going to do this before anything else. Big node here now as well. But so far, no acceptance underneath value, which is moving down. Right, so we can move this a bit. This has got a bit there, and then we can do like a double node, really. That's what I'd be watching. If we sell that, you would somewhat expect this to try and make a new low. These sellers will need to get their way. You would somewhat expect this to make a new low down here. Just based on the structure, right? We expect that to break down and do some form of sweep. At least us or ES, one of them should do some form of sweep. It's definitely compressing and tapering. There's definitely short stuck at that low, but you just wonder, based on the structure, do we have a bigger move down here before they do anything else? We're still protecting pre-stay point control here. But neither of them are swept. It's kind of unusual to see that. Again, I remain bullish, but we need to see a trigger. And I'm not going to buy dips down here. It feels very dangerous right now. How long we got, by the way? 20 minutes to lunch. Maybe we get that H1 expansion. New low in this H1 bar would make sense. It would make sense to come and sweep the old H1 low. It would absolutely make sense. M5, is that inside? No, stuck M15. Yeah, I kind of expect a new low of day to be done in this H1. Not that I want to trade it with those short stuck down there, but I would normally expect it. But yeah, we'll see. When we see this, I normally think something's going to sweep first. Again, only because we rejected, we built that liquidity, we've traded down, we've now swept some internals. There are definitely shorts down here stuck right now, but I would expect this move here, maybe to encourage them to get in even more. Now, maybe they get lucky and we trade down to here, but I kind of expect this to sweep, or ES to sweep, at least one of them. I expect for a breakdown and a low of day. And if they get their wish, they've got TPs lower. If they get their wish, it's starting to happen now. So rejecting flow zone. So this move here, same as here. If they get under value and point control needs to let go. Remember, this is a big higher time frame level. Previous week, what is it? High? This red line is what we're protecting at the moment. If we get under that, we go inside old weekly range. That's the old high from last week. If we get under that, we're going to go into the old weekly range. Would I look at this as a higher low and then a break higher at 275 as a higher low? Like on an H1, you mean? I mean, originally, yes, and I am still thinking about that, but I just think the way we're forming here is opening up to a sweep of this H1 low. What do I know so far? If we just like try and remain impartial. Overall, bullish. but trap buyers up here. Traded down, tried to find a bid at previous week high, which is here, bid off it, trading back down into it again. Somewhat expect a little sweep here before doing anything. Imbalance here. So anywhere between here and here is where I think an H1 will want to stop. 180s, remember we said earlier, is sort of key. You don't want to be early on the buy because there's no guarantee it stops, right? What's to say we don't go big time risk off and they go, hey, we're done with this. We're done with this market. I don't think that's going to happen, but there's nothing to say it doesn't. So when we're trading the H1, you're going to need some lower time frame shift like this on an H1. Oh, yeah, I've got you. So like a M5 or M15 move like this to trade back upside. The H1 won't get bullish technically until it's up here, right? I don't know who wins this battle here. But my bias higher time frame is up, but my bias based on what I'm looking at right now, I would imagine they'd want to do one more little push down first. They might not get it though, because they've caught those shorts twice down in that pocket. Take care, Zar. Nice work today. So back to flow zone. So they're still protecting previous day point of control. That's the fair value from yesterday. It's still being protected. And we're kind of like combining now value area low on the session and that previous day point of control. Those two areas currently being protected. I just got a feeling there's a wash coming here. It's like, it's just from watching the charts many, many, many times. It's not based on the volume. It's more based on, I just got a feeling. I'm not trading it. It's just what I'm saying. I think there's a wash coming here before it does anything else. Doesn't have to. I mean, it's got shorts caught at those lows. There's no doubt about it. Biggest volume at the day is at the current low of day twice, and its delta is sellers. Oh, can you hear that when it pops? My spine should not be doing that. Okay, so volume's staying trapped down here. These guys trapped again. Same level as earlier. It's crazy, isn't it? So these same sellers trapped again down here right now. That is where they're trapped. And buyers trapped above here right now, or definitely above, let's say 55. All right, this is kind of no man's land in here. So buyers trapped above here, sellers trapped below here, no man's land here. You're going to need for a breakout either direction or a failed breakout either direction, in my opinion, to trade the opposite way, all for in continuation. Take care, Peter. Yeah, see you tomorrow, mate. Let's close out the week strong tomorrow. What's the book doing? Gone to sleep a little bit. Well, that looks gross. You've got sellers lifting the offer already. Oh. Nvidia finding a bid. So it's putting its first higher low for that right shoulder. Yeah, exactly. Contorted. Very, very possible. Time for another 20-point chop for another hour or two. This can probably move. This doesn't look quite accurate. Let's see how we get thin through this. So we're going to reclaim it. All right, get rid of that. There you go. So those sellers did get caught. Those sellers did get caught down there. Like I said, not going to trade this. I just want to wait for acceptance outside of this somewhere in here. Maybe there's a trade to be had in there, but I'd rather just wait. Yeah, totally, Ken. Totally. But this is the market we're given at the moment. It's unwilling to do some of those grabs at the moment. It's annoying. Especially when the grabs are to the downside, it seems more and more like it doesn't like doing them. It's very frustrating. Okay, back up to the edge of supply then. This is where sellers, they're turning the booster jets on, are they? This is where buyers got trapped earlier. So back inside of IB. Why is my anchor moved? Thought I have that set so it can't do that. Let's try again. 31. There we go. All right, New York VWAP just above. Let's lock that in before I forget. There we go. Squeezing up, so those sellers get caught again. They're absolutely caught again at the bottoms. Same trigger for me, though. I'm looking for 180s, really, if we're going to go for a big squeeze long. Definitely tapering down here. Definitely sellers caught at those lows. I thought we were going to do one more sweep before going higher. We didn't. That's why you don't trade what you think. You trade what's in front of you. Here's VWAP. Back into that volume that's trapped up here again. All right, so these are your new levels. You'd want to see buyers protect 34s now. So another 20-point range can develop down here now. All right, this here now can develop. And then this. If they don't defend this, then this becomes available again. Again, what are we in? Rotational day. What are we in? Inside yesterday's bar. What do we expect? Rotations. Rotations. No, I didn't join the long, mate, because we didn't sweep. So we didn't sweep. I wanted to see a sweep first before I joined the long. PD, IB is the first hour of the day. Initial balance is the first whole hour of the day, 9:30 to 10:30. Okay, watching now, intently watching now. Starting to see these sellers getting really hurt now because the volume's stepping in. So watching this for long continuation now. Okay, here we go. Through the VWAP, through New York VWAP. How much juice have we got? Can we get up to those 180s again? What's that point of control? Just underneath it. Oh, man. What's this node here? Developing a range here by the looks of it. I want to trade upside if it will allow me to. It's been my bias all day is to trade upside if it will allow me to. Your view, what's right here? 58s or something? Right on POC, basically. Right where we are now. Right, New York view up. The clue's in the name. All right, it's anchored to the New York Open. That's where cash is playing. All right, here we go, folks. We've waited all day for this. I would have much rather we did a sweep at the lows first, but hey, is what it is. Come on, get going. Just go and take out 80s. Goodness gracious me. How long we got left? 5 minutes. God, it felt slow this session. It's because we barely moved. What's our IB range? 90 points IB. We moved like 30 points outside of it or something. We've not got much to play with. Back into that opening range. Looking for a squeeze through 180s to see if we can get acceptance. Now above point control, which is great. If they can hold VWAP and point control, we've got the chance to go. I hate that they didn't sweep. It's quite annoying. But again, the delta came in there. Sellers got trapped down there like we talked about yet again. That's the second time today. They've got trapped trying to force their way underneath previous day point of control, underneath previous week high. They were trying to get a wash at previous week high. They were desperate to get us back into the previous week's range, which so far we've not wanted to do. So we're back into the top side of the range. This is supply. This is our second visit of it. I want to see us drive through 180. I want to see us come and pop all these stops. I need to see a big drive out here. Here we go. Here we go. Nice. Come on. Yes, stuck at its supply. Very similar to what we're doing. Very, very similar. I don't like those lows for the next H4, you know. Lucky. I don't think I'm going to be here for it, but I don't like those, how we've left it. So let's see if we protect initial balance now. Or even the edge of this would be even better. If we protect high, it would be even better, because then we won't let any shorts out at all. Very, very similar to the same play as earlier today. We're looking very, very similar kind of things. We don't really want a deep pullback here. The shallower the better in many ways, because it will leave those shorts trapped at this point. So if we don't pull back far, it will leave those shorts trapped. I don't really want to pull back to 35s. It can. I don't want that. I want it shallow like this. Perfect. Right, now expand, because now the shorts are going to get really pissed off. We need to get through these 180s. 180s will be a big, big, big stop hunt. So we're trading 70s now, or 69s. It's coming. It's coming. One big shove up. We'll get through the 80s and they will go cry, cry. Come on. Slightly regretting not trading that delta at the bottom. But hey, stick to your methods, I guess. It's coming. 70s. 10 points, all it needs, and then they go cry, cry. Oh, daddy. Daddy, help me. Come on. Through those 80s. Come on. Watching ES into New York VWAP. Come on. Let's go. 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 Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 80s, 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 80s. We want 80s. Don't be greedy, Alex. Don't be greedy, Alex. Don't be greedy, Alex. Into 24-hour VWAP here. Right into the top of this supply now. 73s. All right, right into the top of this supply. It's a big volume shelf here. Basically 58 to 73s. You might call it 60 to 70. Right, 10-point volume shelf here. Bulls protect that. Shorts get hurt. Simple as that. Bulls protect that volume shelf. Shorts will get hurt. Definitely a range here. If we get above this and acceptance, you know where we're going. It's going to back test up here. Am I from the UK? Yes. How can you tell? You don't think I'm German? What? 3 bar reversal? We want to trade 80s. We're looking for the stop hunt at 80s to 94s. Yeah. And we don't want deep pullback to initial balance. We want to trap shorts and maintain control of 60s. Lunch coming up here, new H1 bar. The only thing I don't like is those lows for an H4, but that's later, and I don't want to be here for that. Ja, ja! Schnell, schnell! Yeah, I go to the Berghain in the Berlin, and yeah, schnell! Come on, man. Let's go and fucking hurt these shorts. Let's go! Indian tech guy? No, I could do Indian. I'm not going to do it. I will get cancelled for that. Oh, man. Come on. ES has got to get through that New York VWAP. Just want to try trade to the top side of these. I'm looking to pop all these guys here. All these guys here. I'm looking just to stop run them. I want these guys just to get wrecked. Just one little shove up and I will take some more profit. Come on. But be careful because we're in lunch. There's sellers up here. 75, 80s, 87, and then 300s. Just go and fill them. Do me a favor, mate. We're going to go into a tiny, 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 tiny range again, are we? Come on. Crazy how slow the market is. ES tapping New York view up there. It is crazy how slow the market's been the last week. Yesterday was good. We actually had like 400 points of range, but even that felt slow the way we moved. I want to protect 60s. It can afford a deeper pullback here. I just don't want it to do the deeper pullback here. But again, it's building liquidity like it did earlier up here. It's fucking horrible when it does this. Don't swear, Alex. But it is like we can go range rotation because they haven't built liquidity to trap bears yet. So they can pull back deeper, which is not what I want. I want to keep these shorts stuck. Right, here's 60. I don't want to go too deep here because we will let the shorts out if we go too deep. And ES did just reject New York VWAP. Back into flow zones, back into VWAP. Don't let too many of them out here. If you let too many of them out here, it's going to be a problem. I want to see us hold 60s if possible. That needs to reclaim the highs now. Looking better. Nvidia, you need to stop this wedge that Nvidia's doing. It's got lower highs all day and higher lows all day. Horrible wedge. Come on, that's a good hold of 60s. Now let's go and do it. I don't want to see you fail here at 65 on that candle wick. You need to go and reclaim. Don't want that wick to wick on that M1. I have to zoom right in here for you to see. I don't want a failure here. Need to reclaim this 65, reclaim POC, reclaim here, get up into this. And then I can take some profit as we get into 80s ideally. So good hold of 60s, good hold of the volume we just talked about. The edge of this. I'll be done after this because we're in lunch. I'm just looking for that trade up through the 80s ideally. Come on. Why do you make my life so hard? ES can't get through VWAP. Do you reckon if I P it will happen? Should we try it? Okay, I'm going to P and then maybe it comes. want to get out of the trade. Come on. Did we pop that internal? Pop 73 by a tick. 2 ticks. Oh, come on, man. This is crazy how slow this market is. It's crazy how slow this market's been. Not just today, just in general. These like build outs. Come on, all you got to do is go and take 180. 180 and then 194. I don't even need the 194. Just get up to 180. Come on, ES, you fucking piece of shit. Get over VWAP. Pissing me off today, market. Stop range rotating over 10 fucking points. It's not that hard, man. It is not that hard to do more than 10 points on NQ. Apparently nowadays, it's really hard. Where's the ATR gone? We're trading 8 ATR now. Terrible. Same as earlier. Right? This way we've built liquidity, same as earlier. Straight up. You see these moves? This is gross. Straight up, build liquidity like that, pull back in, fails to hold to go up. Straight up, build liquidity like that, pulls back in. If it can't do this, then it comes right back down to here, and the gross market will continue. And this is where you're now pinned it. Look how tiny this range is now. From POC to here, 40 points. And most of it is in this chop here. And your range on the day, 85, 60 points. Is that right? If I've done my maths wrong. Yeah, 60 points. Oh my gosh, are you joking? Terrible. I still think we revisit up here, right? This is what I think, but it needed to dunk because of this. And unfortunately, if it wants to come down here before trying again, it can. And this is becoming a huge area of contention now. Huge, huge, huge. I might just call it there. Do I just take this off and give it one more minute? What's the time? Let's give it to the end of this 5 minutes, see if we can get back above. Which is 1 more minute. Can this 5 minute close back above after filling that little 5 minute imbalance and 21 EMA hold? Can we get above the VWAP? Can we go to 80? Can we fill Alex with what he wants? It's not that flipping hard market. Flow zones are holding. Bullish rotation. Short stuck at the low. Delta stuck at the low. But a lack of range. Go, go, go. Come on. Just 10 points. 10 points is all I'm asking of you. Go and do 10 points. 70. Well done. Get to 80. Get through this little imbalance. Oh, but I can't get through 70. I'm just so pathetic. Come on. I'll slam my head on the wall in a minute. Like, ES is failing. Above IB, but it's looking shite. And Nvidia's still in the worst formation going. Well, that's fun. Not. All right, I'm done. Take this off. Lock some in. We'll go again tomorrow. I think this is going to go upside. It's just you're going to require the patience, which I just don't have today. I don't have it. I had it yesterday. I had to have it yesterday for so long. I don't have the patience to sit in 10-point ranges for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 minutes in a 10-point range on NQ. No chance. No chance I'm wasting my life away doing that. better things to do than do that. Trade safe, team. We'll be back tomorrow. Really, I can't give you much more today. I would say really for tomorrow is going to depend where we close today. I would say the hourly, somewhat contentious here. All right, I do not like this. I really don't like that. That for me is a bit of a warning sign. So I would not be surprised if an H4 comes down into here. It's not what I'd want to see, but it wouldn't surprise me. Right now, we can't break through this supply and we have trap buyers up here. So if you do get long today, you better be respecting this move here into here, right? You want to be taking profit into that move up into here. If we get acceptance over this, even if we close the day here, this is available for tomorrow. All right. If we can't get acceptance over that, we have to admit then that an H1, right, is possible that it wants to rotate back into the old weekly range. Not ideal for bullish moves, but you know, it's not too different to what we've done the last few weeks if we think about it. Fail breakout, back into range. Fail breakout, back into range. Breakout, back into range. Breakout, back into range. It's possible. Markets enjoyed doing that. Why? Because no one wants to buy the high right now. No big reason to sell. No major reason to be buying highs. That's the market we're in. That's why these tiny, tiny rotations will stay present in this market until they go back to work. Go back to work and go and give us some data. All right, go back to work, go and give us some data, and then maybe we can get going. Are you going to go now? You're going to go now, are you? You're going to suddenly go 180s now, are you? You absolute buffoon. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Same as always. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta fucking love it. You gotta love it. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's just, this is the stock market, man. This is it. This is the market. This is how it works. This is how it pisses people off. All right. Big love, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Trade safe in the afternoon. Be careful. Don't get caught in rotations. Delayed bathroom break. Yeah, exactly. And big love. Thank you for joining. Oh, I should say, as they are a sponsor of the show, and I will get in trouble, we will do a giveaway tomorrow, another Apex giveaway. It is still on sale, all right? It's still 80% off and $85 for activation fee. That sale does end tomorrow. Is that right? Is it tomorrow or is it next week? I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. It's soon. It's soon. Let me give you the right details, seeing as they sponsor the show. 16th. You have a bit longer than I thought. 16th. My bad. I thought it was tomorrow. 16th. You've got like another week, just under. And if you haven't, check out the latest video to go live. I show you how I traded funding ticks, passed that in 4 or 5 days, got to pay out after that within another 6 days and took 1,000 out. I actually converted. I said it was $61, but it was actually back in the day, about 2-3 weeks ago, they had a $38 sale. So I actually turned $38 into $1,000, which is an insane return on investment. Worth checking out the video. Until tomorrow, see you then. Be smart, be safe, use hard stops, be kind to each other. Peace out.